This is my new cutting board that one of my supporters got me, 2 gay supporters. Thank you so much. And I was going to use it. I usually freeze my green onions. That way you can freeze them and then use them. I'm going to be using more green onions because I'm going to try to replace them with regular onions because onions and garlic are causing gastrointestinal distress for me, especially because I love to cook with onions and garlic. So I'm going to kind of lay low on them. Green onions don't bother me though, and they can bring an onion flavor into my foods without giving me all this gastrointestinal distress. So just they say if you cut them up until the white, that works out pretty good. Once you get to the white part, then they're almost like regular onions. I'm not gonna, yeah. Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and put these in I'm gonna be doing this for 3 more batches. Put them inside a freezer bag and freeze them. Yeah, I do this a lot. I've been doing this for years, and it works out great for me. So here's what I love this new cutting board, and I could have used some new cutting board, so I really appreciate this. Really do appreciate this. And I like it that one has a tomato on it, 2 of them. So now that I've got 5 cutting boards, I'm going to maybe like use the green one for tomato type vegetables and the other one for like potato-y type vegetables and stuff. So this is great. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to make my macaroni salad ricotta dish today because I don't have time. It's getting close to my bedtime and I'm trying to do the Gail commandments and I have laundry and stuff I need to do. So I will make a video on that tomorrow. So, yeah. Okay, I need to put in 1/4 of a pound of pasta. That would be about 1/3 of this box. A little bit more. Here's what I'm using. You're saying gluten-free. Yeah, I cannot have wheat pasta right now. I am on a modified low-fat FODMAP diet. I'll have a link underneath my website on what I'm doing. Okay, that's about right. That's good. Let's stop. Okay, we'll go ahead and cook that according to the package directions. This is rice and corn pasta, which should agree with me. Yeah, so far every pot, bring 4 to 6 quarts of water to a boil, add salt to taste, add pasta to boiling water, boil for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Yeah, I like it al dente, so I'll go for about 10 minutes. This is Barilla. This is what I got at Walmart. This should work. They didn't have macaroni, so I'm using penne, but I think that will work for this recipe. After 10 minutes, I will take it out and drain it. Okay, there it is. It actually, I only required about 7 minutes of cooking. It's pretty al dente right there, so good. So now we're going to go on to the next step. The green onions I chopped up the other day for this recipe. It's 2 green onions chopped finely. Okay, and now I'm going to work on chopping up the green pepper. This is the new cutting board that my 2 gay supporters got me. Thank you, and I'm using it to chop up the green peppers. They need to be chopped coarsely for this recipe. This is macaroni salad ricotta, except I'm going to be using penne because Walmart didn't have rice macaroni. And I cannot, right now, I'm having some issues with digesting wheat properly, so I have to limit wheat. I don't have to avoid it. I don't have an allergy to wheat, but I got to limit it. Unless I want to have a major bellyache. Okay. So, yeah, it's not celiac disease, it's not wheat allergy, it's called, it's an inability to digest the sugars. My body's probably missing some enzymes needed for that. So I gotta, garlic, onions, and wheat need to be limited. Let's get these seeds out of here. The best, sometimes I find the best way to do this is just rinse them in water, huh? Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I made macaroni beef tomato skillet, and it did not agree with me. That's because it has onions, garlic, and wheat pasta. But I just thought, I just looked at my Spanish rice recipe. I think I can make that. Even though it uses onions, I'll substitute that with green onions. And yeah, I think that'll work. I might, I can't make it now unless I go to the grocery store and get a big can of tomatoes. But yeah, because, okay, anyways. Let's go ahead and chop this up coarsely for the macaroni salad ricotta. There was a section in here. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Let me just go ahead and cut that out. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Green peppers should be fine. This is a, I did a little research. I've got, you know, they recommend for somebody like me what they call a low FODMAP diet. And there's supposedly I can't have dairy, but dairy I already know is not a problem for me. I just basically need to eliminate the fructans and the polyols. And that means I don't really have to limit my diet too much, and I just need to make some modifications, that's all. I'll have a link underneath this video for that. Like that pasta primavera I made was absolutely delicious, so I pigged out on it. And then the next day I had a major bellyache because it had a lot of fructans in it. Chopped coarsely. Yeah, a lot of fructans. Okay, let me just go ahead and finish chopping this coarsely. Well. Yeah, lots of fructans. The onions, the garlic, the wheat pasta, it was a total disaster. And then I also threw in some snow peas in there. I've learned that that is a really bad choice for somebody with my problem. That has fructans and polyols both, so double whammy there. And there were a lot of snow peas in that recipe. So, now for somebody, you might say, how did you get this problem? I'm not sure. Lori McBride might have done something with brain control. The problem is I have it right now and I got to deal with it. Hopefully it's not going to be a permanent problem because I don't recall ever having a problem with these foods 10 years ago. So yeah, or even 8 years ago. So Lori McBride must have done something to my body. I don't know what she's done, man. So yeah, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and finish chopping this up, and I'll chop it coarsely. Okay, I kind of chopped them up. Now let's do the coarsely business. Kind of going like this. This is the chop them coarsely. That's what the recipe says to do. Just check that out. Yeah. This green onion is about 6 days old in the refrigerator, and it's doing really well. I had to throw out an old can of pimentos. They recommend once you open it, you should use it within 3 or 4 days. I'm not going to risk, like I said, I have enough gastrointestinal issues, so I bought a new can of pimentos, so I will be using that for this recipe later. And I threw out the old one, but I saved the jar, because that jar comes in handy to make garlic-infused olive oil, which is part of my strategy for dealing with my inability to digest garlic, because I love my garlic. So anyways. So people watching my YouTube channel will not only learn how to cook delicious food, but also if you have a problem with fructans, you're going to learn how to modify some of these recipes so that you can enjoy, you know, the garlic and onion flavor without getting a major bellyache, hopefully. I'll let you know. Well, yeah, if you keep watching my channel, I'll let you know in future videos how I did to this, you know, to any foods that I've made. I've reacted pretty bad to the pasta primavera because it was loaded with fructans. And I also reacted to the egg foo young because of all the, it has a lot of raw onions in there. And I think, yeah, the onions were the problem. Onions and garlic fried in oil do much better for me. Like they don't bother me as much and I can tolerate it. But boy, I tell you, if the garlic is not thoroughly cooked in oil, then I have an issue. Coarsely chopped. I think we are getting there. All right. Okay, that looks pretty coarsely chopped to me. All right, let's go ahead and put all this in a bowl because we're going to be mixing it with the macaroni or the penne. I'm going to work on the dressing next. Let's just go ahead and put this in here. Yeah, there's a dressing that you make for this. Okay. Now the recipe does call for yogurt, but I do not believe that I have a problem with dairy, so I am not going to be following the advice for low FODMAP diet for dairy. I don't think that's a problem with me. Okay. I will have this recipe at my website. 2 teaspoons of mustard, thinned out in about a tablespoon of yogurt. Yeah, 2 teaspoons of mustard. Yep, about a tablespoon or more. This is actually full-fat yogurt. Brent told me to go with full-fat yogurt. He said it helps the body to absorb nutrients more. Okay, so about 2 teaspoons. All right, that's good right there. And then about a tablespoon of full-fat yogurt. Mix it down here. That'll work. And then we just kind of mix it all together. I can just go ahead and use the teaspoon. Make sure I've got all this on film. Yep. Okay. So we're going to mix it all together. This is going to be the dressing that I'm going to put on. Yeah. Okie dokie. Yeah, that looks pretty good, eh? See that? Okay. Yeah, we'll just let that sit for a bit. Need to mix 1 cup of ricotta with the mustard mixture. This was the cheapest. This is the Great Value brand. Like I said, there's more here than I need for the recipe, so I got to measure out 1 cup. That's an interesting looking cheese there. Let's see. Let's get a tablespoon here and just kind of like spoon it in there. I need a cup. Interesting. I remember. I've made this recipe before and I forgot that ricotta looks like this. Yeah, it's kind of got an interesting texture. All right. Now this recipe is from the American Heart Association cookbook, so it doesn't have any salt. Some people might want to add some salt. I'm wondering if I should put a little bit of salt in here to make it taste good. I think I will. I'm going to modify the recipe a little bit. So we'll put it in here. I'm going to add a little bit of salt because I like my salt. Just a little bit of salt. There, that's good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and mix it with this. The mustard will actually give it some flavor, so you don't need a whole bunch of salt. Let's see, I guess I'll put that there for right now. This might work. Take that out. I wanted to add a little bit of salt because I think it's gonna need a little bit of salt. You can add more salt to your liking. It's kind of like swish that around in there. I get that in there. There we go. All right. Alrighty. Let's see if we can see that. That's what it looks like. Now we gotta just mix it all together. And I got to use that wonderful new cutting board that somebody got me. This is from a 1980s cookbook that I got. All right. Has a nice texture. That would be good with macaroni. I can already tell. Okay. That looks pretty good. Here's some parsley that I stored in this Ziploc bag. I need a tablespoon of chopped parsley. See how it's doing here. Wow, this parsley is not, it must have been a little old when I got it. Let me see if anything looks good in here. Because usually I have better luck with the parsley than this. This looks pretty good. Fortunately, I don't need to use a lot of it. I'm going to throw that out. I think this parsley was kind of old to begin with in the store. It looks like I got a deficient batch of parsley here. Let's see. That happens sometimes. This looks good. This has all been washed already. I don't like that one. I don't like that one either. Fortunately, I don't need a lot of it. I'm throwing out anything that looks even a little bit old. Wow. This must have been a deficient batch of parsley. This looks pretty good. All I need is 2 tablespoons. If worse comes to worse, if your parsley's no good, you can probably just use dried parsley. Like, I don't think I have that though, that's the problem. Like that. This looks good. I'm going to throw that out. Okay, I think this will be good. The rest we'll store in paper bags. You might say, sounds like I think what I was dealing with was parsley that was already old in the store. So, yeah, that happens sometimes. Just go ahead and put this in here. Try to get as much of the air out of the bag as I can. And store it in the crisper. This will come out to about 2 tablespoons there. It's already been washed. Smells good. Alright. Doesn't smell moldy or anything. I need about 2 tablespoons. Let me go ahead and chop this up. When I get 2 tablespoons, I'll throw it in here. Okay, we got to get, I believe it was 2 tablespoons. No, 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking, 2 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon's fine. Yeah, 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley. If I have a little too much, I'm not gonna... I remember the last time I made this recipe, it was good. Okay, that's 1 tablespoon. Throw that in there. Let's see what we're gonna do with this. Yeah. Let's get rid of it. I think so, yeah. It's not going to be good for the next recipe. By the time I get around to that next recipe, it's probably not going to be good, so we're not going to worry about it. Yeah. I have learned that it can't be helped, but not everything you buy can be used. Some of it has to be thrown out, you know. They usually sell stuff and not just the right quantity, so you just do the best you can to save money, but sometimes, you know, you'll make mistakes and stuff. Okay, okay, the scallions with the tops, I already chopped this up, so that needs to go in here. And now I've got to get some olives and pimento. So I'll work on that next. Okay, 1/4 cup olives. Here's a 1/4 cup measuring cup. So let's go ahead and put in about a 1/4 cup. Great value brand here. Saves me some money. Like I said, they usually sell me more than I need. Now, if this turns out good and it doesn't upset my stomach, I might go to the store and get me some more ingredients so I can make it again. You might say, oh, you cook unsanitary. No, it has nothing to do with cooking unsanitary. It has to do with the fact that I lack the digestive enzymes to properly digest some of these food items. This is basil. I need about 1/2 teaspoon of this. This is lightly dried basil. Throw that in there. Okay. And then I need about 1/2 teaspoon of dill weed. Here it is. And let's go ahead and throw in about 1/2 teaspoon. I love dill. I use this in my shepherd's pie. There we go. I love dill. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to omit the pimento because I want to save that for arroz con pollo later. A little bit of black pepper. There we go. Go ahead and kind of like mix this all together. I think I'm going to put it all in here. Yep. All right, let's see here. Okay. Stirring all the other ingredients. Okay, let's go. Actually, let's just go ahead and throw this in here. Should have put this in this pan. That's okay. This will work. Yeah, I'm going to leave the pimento out. I could freeze it, but freezing kind of ruins the texture of it. And I already threw out a jar of pimento that I didn't want to take any chances with. Yeah, like I threw out a bunch of, I had some dried chicken stock that expired this month and I threw that out. So Jesus likes me to throw out anything if it's past the expiration date. Okay, let's go ahead and throw in the macaroni. Here we go. Actually penne, because the store didn't have rice macaroni, because I'm having some issues with wheat pasta right now. I think my hands are clean. So I think what I'm just going to do now, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Let's just double check here. I'm going to, I think I'm just going to use my, you know what? I have a better idea. Instead of getting my hands all squishy, I think I'm going to use this. Yeah. I've had this since the 1980s. It's probably going to fall apart on me. It feels like it's going to fall. I've had this since the 1980s. It's actually getting a little loose in there. It's probably going to fall apart eventually. But it hasn't yet. But it feels like it's about to. Let's go ahead and You know what? I actually think fingers would be the best way to handle this. I just wash my hands anyway. That way I won't break up the macaroni. And I can make sure I mix it really well. Like when I make a potato salad, I will often do that. Ooh, this looks good. And I will test it and let you know. It isn't that I make unsanitary food, I just have digestive issues. So, let's go ahead and mix that around. And I will That looks good. This is called Macaroni Salad Ricotta from a 1980s cookbook, American Heart Association. It doesn't say to add salt in, but I just did because I know I'm going to want a little bit of salt. So. They also recommend using a low-fat ricotta, but you wanted to save money. The Great Value brand only had the full-fat ricotta, and Brent Spiner, my husband, tells me I do a better job mixing it when it's kind of down here flat. So, okay, let's just go ahead and I'll go ahead and put it on the table, and I will taste it and let you all know. Okay, let's try it. This is good. And adding a little bit of salt was a good move, and I didn't put in too much. It's perfect. I don't like to drown my food. Good. And I don't think leaving out the pimento hurt anything. I think it has a really nice flavor. And the pasta that I'm using works great. This is the Barilla brand rice corn pasta because I'm sensitive to wheat pasta right now. It doesn't taste much different from wheat pasta. You might want to get the Barilla brand. If you have a problem with wheat, get the Barilla brand corn rice pasta. It doesn't taste much different from wheat. Winner. This is good. Very good. I wanted to say something. I'm noticing that the Barilla brand pasta is better than the Great Value brand, even using the rice and corn version. It's better enough that it makes quite a bit of difference in how the item tastes. So I would recommend, from now on, I'm going to use Barilla. I am really impressed with the difference in the quality of the pasta if you use Barilla as opposed to the Great Value brand pasta. It's only a little bit more expensive, but it's a really big difference. Like the pasta really feels al dente. And yeah, I would recommend you. Even though I'm trying to save money, I had no choice because they weren't carrying the Great Value brand didn't have rice pasta, and I'm reacting to the wheat. So yeah, I would recommend getting the Barilla brand. It makes a difference. They have excellent pasta. America.